Good morning class. Today in this particular video we will be seeing the different reaction of amines whereby specifically we will be focusing upon the reaction, the mechanism and the applications of carbylamine and mannich reactions. These are the prerequisites to know this particular reactions, that is the knowledge of the basic skeleton, the concept and the reaction mechanisms of the organic reactions, without which we will be unable to understand these particular reactions. This is what we have done so far, that is the structure of hydrocarbons, the structure of nitrogenous compounds, various other reactions and properties, the preparation and reaction of nitro compounds. After seeing this particular video, this is the learning outcome, that is the reaction and the mechanism of the carbylamine reaction, the reactions and mechanism of mannich reaction and the applications of these particular reactions. Carbylamine reaction. Carbylamine reaction mechanism includes the addition of amine to the intermediate created from the dehydrohalogenation of the chloroform. This intermediate is also called dichlorocarbene. The carbylamine reaction is also known as Hofmann isocyanide synthesis. It is the reaction of primary amine, chloroform and a base to synthesize isocyanide. The dichlorocarbene intermediate is very important for this particular conversion. The carbylamine reaction cannot be used to synthesize isocyanides from secondary or tertiary amines. So we can also say that this particular reaction is the test for primary amines because secondary and tertiary amines give a negative test for this particular reaction. Since the carbylamine reaction is effective only for primary amines, it can be used as a chemical test for the presence of primary amines. When used as a test, the carbylamine reaction is also called Hofmann isocyanide test. In this particular test, the test substance is heated with chloroform and alcoholic potassium hydroxide. In the case of the presence of primary amine, there will occur a formation of isocyanide that is called carbylamine, which can be easily identified by its extremely foul smell. The Hofmann isocyanide test does not give a foul odor with secondary or tertiary amines as they do not undergo the carbylamine reaction. This is the reaction for this particular carbylamine test, whereby we can see that primary amine is reacted with chloroform and potassium hydroxide, resulting in the formation of the foul smell that is due to carbylamine, KCl and water. So here are other few examples which can be seen with primary amines. In the second example, we can see this particular test with ethylamine, whereby as due to the presence of primary amine, again ethyl isocyanide is formed and we get a foul smell. For this aniline also, we get phenyl isocyanide. Now moving on to the mechanism of the carbylamine reaction, whereby we can see here we have this particular amine which is then reacted with this particular carbene, that is dichlorocarbene, and it reacts with the nitrogen to give this particular product, which is then protonated and we get this particular product. Then with the removal of HCl, we get an amine and consequently isocyanide with the help of rearrangement reaction. So the first step is the dehydrohalogenation, that is the removal of hydrogen halide from a given substrate of chloroform to give dichlorocarbene as an intermediate. This dichlorocarbene intermediate is very reactive. The electrophilic dichlorocarbene attacks the nucleophilic nitrogen of the primary amine. Thereby, the elimination of the hydrochloric acid leads to the formation of isonitrile. The mechanism is provided here. Here we can also see that how this chlorocarbene is produced with the help of chloroform and OH. So to conclude, the carbylamine reaction can be used to synthesize isocyanides from primary amines with the help of chloroform and a base. The carbylamine reaction can also be employed to test the presence of primary amine in a given substrate. Moving on to the Mannich reaction. Mannich reaction mechanism begins with the formation of an iminium ion from the reaction between formaldehyde and amine. Now, the compound which has a carbonyl functional group undergoes tautomerism to give its enol form. This enol form now attacks the iminium ion. This we have also discussed in the animation. Mannich reaction is the organic reaction in which an acidic proton which is positioned next to the carbonyl group undergoes an amino alkylation with the help of formaldehyde and ammonia. That is, a primary or secondary amine can be used instead of ammonia. The product of this reaction is a beta amino carbonyl compound. It is an organic chemical coupling reaction which is named after German chemist Karl Mannich. The beta amino carbonyl compound, which is the final product, is also referred to as a Mannich base. Mannich reactions also include the reaction between an aldimine, that is imines that are analogues of an aldehyde. General chemical formula of RCH double bond NR dash and an alpha methylene carbonyl. An example of the Mannich reaction between an amine or ammonia with formaldehyde and an alpha acidic proton from a carbonyl compound to give a beta amino carbonyl compound is illustrated here, whereby we can see this is our primary amine, this is our secondary amine, which is when reacted with formaldehyde, and you can also see an alpha acidic proton from a carbonyl. This is the alpha acidic proton from this carbonyl compound, and consequently it will give beta amino carbonyl compound. It can be noted that the Mannich reaction can also be considered as a condensation reaction. The reason where primary or secondary amines or ammonia are used for the activation of the formaldehyde is that the tertiary amines would lack the nitrogen proton which is required for the formation of enamine intermediate. The reaction between the formaldehyde and amine leads to the formation of iminium ion, which is illustrated as this is the formaldehyde, which is when added 1H plus gives a protonation here. Then this particular amine is attacked, this lone pair of nitrogen is attacked on this particular carbon, moving this double bond on the oxygen. Consequently, we get a positive charge on nitrogen, which is then deprotonated to give this particular compound. So, with the series of this particular reaction, iminium ion is formed. Now the second step for the Mannich reaction. The compound containing the carbonyl group which is a ketone in this particular illustration for the mechanism, undergoes tautomerism to give its enol form. This enol form of the compound with the carbonyl functional group now proceeds to execute an attack on the iminium ion. This attack finally yields the required beta amino carbonyl compound or the mannich base, which is illustrated in the particular example. Thus, the amino alkylation of an acidic proton which is placed alongside a carbonyl group by formaldehyde and a primary or secondary amine is achieved, and the required beta amino carbonyl compound is produced. So, from the mechanism that is given above, it can be observed that Mannich reaction is an example of nucleophilic addition of an amine to a carbonyl group. These are the various applications of Mannich reaction. This organic reaction has numerous applications, primarily in the synthesis of specific organic compounds. Some of these compounds and their applications are listed. This reaction is used in the preparation of alkylamines, which are employed in the production of pesticides. Many antibiotics are Mannich bases. For example, the Mannich base of the tetracycline is Roli tetracycline, which is a broad spectrum antibiotic. Many catalysts and polymers are produced with the help of this reaction. The Mannich reaction is also used in the synthesis of many pharmaceutical drugs. One example is the use of this reaction in the production of fluoxetine, which is a powerful antidepressant. The non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug tolmetin is synthesized with the help of this particular reaction. The reaction is also used in the production of some soaps and detergents. These are the references from where we have taken the text. Thank you for listening. Thanks for the patience. We can take up the queries and questions in the next session. Thank you so much.